Have you ever loved something so much that you don't care if it hurts you? Just like the majority of you, I have. And even after all the hurt, I refuse to give it up. After all the disappointment, the bruises, the failures, I feel more persistent every time. Even though the vast majority of people don't consider cheering a sport, I have gained many things personally and physically from it. A day of cheering is not just about cheers and jumps, but it's about a lot more. So, as we arrived to the arena, we noticed that our parents were standing outside waiting for us. And as we got off the bus, our parents lined up and we had this tunnel and we ran through it and the parents were recording us and cheering for us, and it was honestly the best because it motivated us to do good in this competition because we had our number one supporters, and what more can you ask for, like your parents who are cheering for us. After we got off the bus, we waited and it was finally our turn to go backstage and go warm up. And warm ups are pretty intimidating because you have the teams you're competing against sitting there watching you, and they're watching you practice so you could go up there, and they hope you mess up and some hope that you do good, and it's just a lot of that's just nerve wracking. After warm ups, we went backstage and we did our usual prayer and waited for it to be our turn. 2 teams later, it was almost time to get on deck. On deck, you are literally the team waiting to go on the mat. So you have a team before you. And that's probably the most scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Because for that moment that you're on deck, it's pitch black and you're behind a curtain and you just hear the music from the team in front before you. And as soon as that music goes off, you know that you're next and it's about to be your turn. And honestly, it's a really good and scary feeling, but it's worth it. After you're on deck and it's your turn, we all line up and we hold hands and we walk in together. And that moment when they say our cheer name, the lights turn on, they hit you, and you can't see anything. Like it's just the lights and pitch black. And if you're lucky, you could see the judges, and if you're even lucky enough, you could hear your coaches and see your coaches. But in that competition, you can't see anything. It's just black. And that's a little bit more scary, but it's also helped since you could just perform and not see anybody, and it's just. After we performed a solid routine, we walked off the mats happy and jumping with joy. Hitting a solid routine is probably the most rewarding thing ever because it's all our hard work and all those days of practicing and getting hits and crying because you can't get it done right. It's worth it, and it's something to be proud of because we worked really hard for it. After that, it was now time to go back on the mats, but not to perform, but to get the final results of the competition. So it's now awards time. And that's the best thing ever when you know you've hit a solid routine because you know you did really good. So while we're there, we're waiting. You have all the levels that competed there waiting for their turn to be called out. So they go from level 1, level 2, level 3, and then it's finally our turn, level 4. So they say from 5th to 3rd, and as soon as they say 3rd place, they get the last 2 teams and they put us right in front of the trophies, and we're in our teams and we're in circles holding hands praying that they don't call our names for 2nd place. And as soon as they say 2nd place with the score of, and they say the score, and they say the city that other teams from, we all started jumping with joy and crying and hugging because we won. Like, we literally won the whole competition, and that's the most rewarding thing ever. So after we're presented the award, we go backstage, and that's when we get our nice, beautiful leather jackets, and we get to try them on, and we get to, I can't. It's really the best feeling ever because all our hard work, all the practices, it was worth it. It was totally worth it because here we are putting on our black jackets, like celebrating with our team, celebrating with our loved ones, and it's really rewarding. Becoming NCAA national champion was a moment I will never forget. It was a moment where I felt that after all the disappointments, bruises, and at times failures, it was all worth it. Don't get me wrong, I did always feel the love for cheerleading, especially after a hard day at practice. But it was then that I realized that success and satisfaction comes from hard work and persistence. It's difficult to determine if something in life are good for you, especially if they cause you pain. But I must tell you that in my case, all the pain has allowed me to achieve a goal of mine, the goal of becoming an NCAA national champion. How great is that? Thank you.